Every time your plane touches down, the flight attendants near the exits cross their arms, plant their feet, and hold still. Most passengers assume it is a resting posture. It is called the protective brace position, and it lets them unlatch a seatbelt in under 1 second. 68% of all fatal aviation accidents happen in the exact phase of flight you are watching them do it. That posture is just the first layer. The protective brace position is a trained routine, not a casual pose. Watch a veteran flight attendant as she settles into her jump seat. Both feet plant flat on the floor, heels tucked under the knees. Her arms cross tightly over the seatbelt, forearms pressing down, hands gripping. Head upright, eyes forward, spine aligned. This is not for comfort, it is for control and speed. Every movement is deliberate. The crossed arms keep the torso stable and the hands close to the buckle. In drills, experienced crew can unlatch their seatbelt and stand in less than 1 second, timed at 0.84 seconds in FAA studies. That release under 1 second is the difference between being pinned and leading an evacuation. The posture also protects joints in the head, reducing injury risk if the aircraft comes to a sudden stop. The sequence is repeated in training until it is automatic. There is no wasted motion. Even the way the feet are placed, flat, not on tiptoe, matters. It is about leverage and readiness. The protective brace position is the foundation of everything that comes next. What looks like stillness is actually a state of alertness, practiced until it is second nature. This is the first layer of a system designed for the moments when every second counts. Landing is when everything matters most. Boeing's global accident data makes it plain: 68% of all fatal accidents in commercial jet aviation happen during takeoff or landing. These phases make up only a small fraction of total flight time, but they carry most of the risk. It is not the cruise at 35,000 feet that poses the greatest challenge. It is the moments close to the ground, when speed, weather, human factors, and mechanical complexity all converge. The numbers are clear, but the context is just as important. In 2023, the worldwide fatal accident rate for commercial flights dropped to 0.07 per million departures. That is the lowest on record. For every million flights, fewer than one ends in a fatal accident. Statistically, commercial flying has never been safer, but the reason for that safety is the constant focus on these critical minutes. That is why every movement, every posture, every silent signal is drilled, repeated, and executed with precision. The protective brace position isn't just about surviving a worst-case scenario. It is about being ready, every single time, for the phase of flight where readiness makes all the difference. If this is already changing how you think about the next time you fly, hit subscribe and tap the bell. We cover the systems behind everyday things that nobody explains. Now let's keep going. Cabin lights begin to fade as the aircraft lines up for landing. This is not mood lighting. It is a calculated step rooted in vision science. Human eyes rely on two systems: cones for bright light and rods for darkness. In a sudden emergency, the difference between seeing the exit and being blinded by darkness comes down to how well your eyes have adapted. Studies show it takes 10 to 15 minutes for the retina to shift from photopic to scotopic vision, moving from daylight clarity to night sensitivity. That is why the lights go down well before touchdown, even during daylight. The goal is to prepare everyone's eyes for the lowest possible light, just in case the cabin loses power or fills with smoke. A vision researcher at a leading university puts it simply: you cannot fake dark adaptation. It is a biological process, and it needs time. The principle is borrowed from military aviation, where pilots sit in dim, red-lit rooms before night missions to preserve their night vision. In commercial aviation, the same science quietly shapes safety. Dimmed lights mean crew and passengers are already primed to see in the dark. No fumbling, no delay. This small sensory adjustment is part of a larger system. It shapes how quickly flight attendants can scan for hazards, spot exits, and guide an evacuation if the worst happens. A prepared environment lets trained actions like the brace position work exactly as designed. Every detail, even the lighting, is chosen for one purpose: to give everyone on board the best possible chance if seconds matter. Seconds before landing, flight attendants are not just waiting. They are running a silent checklist, eyes moving, mind alert. This is where the protective brace position earns its name. Arms crossed over the seatbelt, feet flat, head up. Every muscle is ready. Crew are trained to scan the cabin, count the rows to the nearest exit, and rehearse the evacuation in their minds. The goal is to move from restraint to action in less than a heartbeat. A standard called the 30-second rule guides everything. In a survivable crash, the first half-minute after the aircraft stops is the window that decides who walks out. That is not just theory, it is written into international safety codes. FAA and ICAO require airlines to prove in live drills that a full evacuation can be completed in 90 seconds with half the exits blocked. But the real benchmark for crew is much tighter. Data from FAA crashworthiness egress studies show that if an exit is opened and passengers are moving within 30 seconds, survival rates double. Delays beyond that, even by a few seconds, mean smoke and fire can turn an escape into a trap. A human factors expert puts it simply: you are not just sitting, you are pre-loaded for action. Everything you need to do next is already rehearsed, already mapped out. That is why the brace is not just a pose. It is the trigger for the fastest, most ordered response possible when every second counts. A flight attendant's training includes a language that most passengers never notice. When words fail because of noise, smoke, or panic, the crew switches to silent signals and coded sounds. Every gesture and chime has a specific meaning, drilled until it is automatic. A closed fist held up means hold your position. No one moves until the next cue. An open palm shown clearly means evacuate, go now, open the exit, lead people out. Two fingers pointed sharply down mean brace for impact. These signals are not improvised. They are set by hand signal charts from the FAA and practiced in annual emergency training. The point is clarity under stress, when seconds matter and voices cannot carry. Cabin chimes form a second parallel system. One chime is routine, like a seatbelt sign. Two chimes in quick succession signal a heightened alert, crew attention needed. Three chimes mean emergency, brace position, or prepare for evacuation. Most U.S. airlines and ICAO regulations follow this code, with minor variations by carrier. The sound is designed to be unmistakable, but not to startle. Crew know exactly what to do when they hear it. Passengers rarely realize the meaning, but for the crew it is a direct call to action. A cabin safety trainer puts it plainly: hand signals and chimes are our backup when everything else fails. They let us coordinate instantly, even in the worst conditions. Drop a like if this is changing how you see your next flight. Tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? I want to see where this is reaching. This double layer, visual and audio, means that even if one system is lost, the other still works. It is redundancy by design, built from decades of lessons and reinforced every year in emergency drills mandated by the FAA. The next time you hear a chime or catch a quick hand signal, you are seeing a hidden safety net in action. Aviation safety is not left to chance or memory. The protective brace position is drilled until it becomes reflex. Every flight attendant in the United States completes at least 9 hours of FAA-mandated emergency training each year. That is not just classroom time. It is live fire in a mock cabin, crawling through smoke, bracing for impact in full uniform, and practicing underwater evacuation. Training centers are built to simulate the chaos of a real emergency: alarms blaring, lights flickering, oxygen masks dropping. Instructors walk the line, stopwatch in hand, timing how fast a crew member can move from braced, arms crossed, to upright and ready to lead. The benchmark is to unlatch the seatbelt and stand in less than 1 second. The average is 0.84 seconds, measured in FAA studies. If a trainee misses the mark, they do it again and again. A cabin safety trainer explains that they drill this until it is automatic. Under stress, you do not rise to the occasion, you fall to your training. The annual curriculum covers more than just the brace. Crew practice live fire drills to handle cabin smoke, underwater escapes for ditching, and decompression chamber exercises to simulate sudden loss of pressure. Each scenario is repeated until every gesture, crossing arms, counting rows, signaling with a closed fist or open palm, becomes instinct. One flight attendant puts it simply, in the moment there is no thinking. Your body just moves. This relentless practice is why, when the cabin goes quiet for landing and you see a flight attendant cross their arms, you are not watching a casual routine. You are seeing a safety system in motion built on muscle memory, ready for any outcome. Every landing, what looks casual is anything but. The protective brace position, arms crossed, feet flat, eyes forward, readies crew for those rare seconds when readiness means everything. With aviation's fatal accident rate at 0.07 per million flights, safety stays quietly rigorous. Next time, you'll know the real reason.